What is this black and white gauge with a chain attached to a 4-story building in Aldershot, England? It has numbers 1 to 6 and a chain that looks like it can be adjusted from inside to make the indicator go up and down. It's 4 stories up on a former military hospital that isn't near a river and doesn't get much snow. Any ideas? That is a water tank gauge. Those gauges were common on railroad water tanks back in the steam era. There's a water tank on the roof of the building to maintain water pressure. This is how building facilities check the water level. There's a float in the tank attached to the chain, and in this pic the tank is full. The float goes up, and the chain goes down over a pulley. We have these on the water towers in town now, in South Carolina. You can read the level from a block away. I've always found these cords of wire on the front bottoms of grocery carts. What are they and why? I took that photo and made this post while I was working grocery stock crew this night. Any ideas? It's for dissipating static charge, so you don't get shocked when using the trolley. It acts as some kind of ground, preventing shoppers from getting a shock when they touch the cart. And back in the day, some cars had these. Anti-static straps attached to automobiles were a big thing in the 1960s and 1970s, but are less common today. Allegedly because the rubber of modern car tires conduct electricity. Any idea what this is used for? I found it in an old toolbox in the attic of our new house. Roughly 4 inches in length and 1/8 inch thick steel. It appears to be powder coated with 4 slots of different dimensions. Any help would be most appreciated. It's a Mosin-Nagant bolt tool, dated roughly World War II era. It serves as the tool to take apart the bolt, reassemble the bolt, and set the firing pin depth. It is the only way to properly set up the firing pin depth on the rifle. It also is a screwdriver for rifle takedown, as well as a tool to tighten the jag. What is this farm machine on display in the factory in Franklin, Tennessee? It looks like it would be towed behind a tractor. Any idea what this machine would have been used for originally? It's a 1940s camera crane for films. Here's a similar crane used in a 1940 American prison film, Castle on the Hudson. Cranes allow cameras to move smoothly in any direction, but their ability to lift cameras to incredible heights is what makes crane shots so impressive. What is this device I found at my folk high school? I found it outside the photography classroom, so maybe it has something to do with photos. It has a plaque that reads, N. Jacobsen, Elektroverksted, Christiania. It weighs a little under a kilo and has a lot of gears connected to what I believe is an electric motor. The device is probably broken, as the gears don't seem to be going to anything. Does anyone know anything about it? It's a Morse code telegraph machine, specifically a telegraph recorder or a printer. It may be nice to know that it's from Oslo, Norway, and likely from the time between 1877 and 1924. Back then, Oslo was called Christiania, and the city's name was changed to Oslo in 1925. On the big reel, you put a roll of paper strip, and the incoming signals on the telegraph line are fed through the coil in the front, which pulls down the lever on the printer, which makes a mark on the paper. The paper was often driven by a spring mechanism, just like old watches. I restored one a few years back for a friend and his railroad museum. It was quite fun to play around with it. Sadly, I had to give it back. What is this thing made of metal with 2 rope handles found in the basement of an old house? The center pole has a spring and wing nut to tighten and loosen, and no writing or anything stamped anywhere on it. The construction style and green paint suggest military equipment, but I'm not sure what though. Can anyone help with identifying what it is? It's a World War II ammunition rack, the inside holding frame for explosive ammo. It goes into a crate with 4 rounds for transport. It looks about the right size to now be a sweet wine rack. I found this strange item at a thrift store. It's made of clear cobalt blue plastic or acrylic with a strange wavy shape and 2 flat sides. It also has a shiny metal appendage that appears to be a handle. There are no markings on it, and I've already tried using Google Lens and found nothing. Hopefully someone can figure this one out. It's a mattress lifter wedge for changing sheets. Just insert this mattress lifter between a bed and a box spring to maintain the mattress higher. It avoids lifting up the mattress several times and makes the housework of bed changing easier. The wavy shape is there for structural integrity, and the hole in the top is for hanging the thing. I had bought some vintage medical stuff for cheap to try and flip to you odd people out there. I cannot for the life of me figure out what this item is. The items were mostly dental equipment by the looks of it, and this item is poorly stamped Sklar USA Chrome. Pilot G207 for scale, as the bananas browned and have since been cut up and frozen. I'm excited to find out what you all think. It's an early 20th century Tom's pelvimeter for measuring a pregnant woman's pelvis. These were designed to obtain an exact measurement of a woman's pelvis, aiming to predict whether she will be able to give birth vaginally or not. However, clinical evidence indicates that all pregnant women should be allowed a trial of labor regardless of pelvimetry results. Does anyone know what this is? I bought it for $200 at Salvation Army in Brooklyn, New York, thinking it was a mirrorless dressing table. I had to buy so much furniture to furnish my new apartment, and to be fair, it was $400. The manager was willing to help me out and gave me half of everything. Any ideas? It's a Birdcage design plant stand from the mid-20th century. Here's one listed for $1,300 US. It has 2 removable copper inserts and 5 small shelves for small plants. You could put vining plants on the copper inserts on either side and have them climb up all the cage rungs. It would be stunning. What is this thing with a weirdly mounted handle and a spring on it? You can push it down like a lever, and the spring lets it bend a bit. It's about 7 inches long, 4 inches wide, and 5 inches tall at a guess. It's pretty heavy, so I assume it's mostly metal, with some leathery stuff on the handle. It presses down like a stamp of some sort, but for what? I have no idea. There's a little hole that maybe something would be pressed into, but it doesn't line up very well. Any ideas? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.